All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is "Why Is It So Hard to Escape Poverty?" This is a TED Talk coming from Helén Bay. Let's check it out. Got a Nelson Mandela quote.
Imagine that you've been unemployed and seeking work for months. Government benefit programs have helped you cover rent, utilities, and food, but you're barely getting by. Finally, you hear back about a job application. You receive your first paycheck in months, and things seem to be turning around, but there's a catch. Your new job pays just enough to disqualify you from the benefit programs, and not enough to cover the same costs.
Right.
To make things worse, you have to pay for transportation to work and childcare while you're at the office. Somehow, you have less money now than when you were unemployed. Economists call this demoralizing situation the welfare trap, one of the many different poverty traps affecting millions of people around the world. Poverty traps are economic and environmental circumstances that reinforce themselves, perpetuating poverty for generations. Some poverty traps are tied to an individual's circumstances, like a lack of access to healthy food or education. Others can affect entire nations, such as cycles of corrupt government or climate change. But the cruel irony of welfare traps in particular is that they stem from the very policies designed to battle poverty. Most societies throughout...
Yeah, and that's why I think at the end of the day, it's not the most intelligent thing to actually have an entire nation that's extremely impoverished and you're giving them things. I think the easiest way, quickest way to probably get out of this situation is to not have a welfare system. Right, and just force people to do everything humanly within their power, legally, obviously, to kind of push ahead in life.
History.
Don't coddle.
Employed some strategies to help people in poverty meet basic needs. Before the 20th century, religious groups and private charities often led such initiatives. Today, these are called welfare programs, and they usually take the form of government-provided subsidies for housing, food, energy, and health care. Typically, these programs are means-tested, meaning that only people who fall below a certain income level are eligible for benefits.
Guys, there are too many ways in the United States of America. I'm not saying that this is like a normal thing here, guys, but there are way too many things that you can do within the United States of America that can easily put you on paper in that situation, right? Too many things.
This policy is designed to ensure aid goes to those who need it most. But it also means people lose access as soon as they earn more than the qualification threshold, regardless of whether or not they're financially stable enough to stay there. This vicious cycle is harmful to both those in poverty and those outside of it.
Right.
Mainstream economic models assume people are rational actors who weigh the cost and benefits of their options and choose the most advantageous path forward. If those in poverty know they'll gain no net benefit from working, they're incentivized to remain on government assistance.
Right.
Of course, people work for many reasons, including societal norms and personal values. But income is a major incentive to pursuing employment. And when less people take on new jobs, the economy slows down, keeping people in poverty and potentially pushing people on the cusp of poverty over the edge. Some have suggested this feedback loop could be removed by eliminating government assistance programs altogether.
Okay.
But most agree this solution is neither realistic nor humane. Okay. So how can we redesign benefits in a way that doesn't penalize people for working? Many countries have tried different ways to circumvent this problem. Some allow people to continue receiving benefits for a given period after finding a job, while others phase out benefits gradually as income increases. These policies still remove some financial incentive to work, but the risk of a welfare trap is lower. Other governments provide benefits like education, childcare, or medical care, equally across all their citizens. One proposed solution
that's also very valuable, like in itself.
Takes this idea of universal benefits even further. A universal basic income would provide a fixed benefit to all members of society, regardless of wealth or employment status. This is the only known policy that could entirely remove welfare traps, since any earned wages would supplement the benefit rather than replace it.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of that at all. It depends on how much money it is, right? Like, I mean, if you were, like, for example, like how they do it in Alaska, where because there's oil there, everyone kind of gets paid from the oil company a certain amount of money yearly, right? So everyone in Alaska, for the most part, if you are a resident there, you have a universal basic income already, right? If that's the case, if that's how they're doing it, okay, all right?
In fact, by creating a stable income floor below which no one can fall, basic income might prevent people from falling into poverty in the first place.
Yeah, inflation will also go crazy.
Numerous economists and thinkers have championed this idea since the 18th century. But for now, universal basic income remains largely hypothetical.
Right.
Although it's been tried in some places on a limited scale, these local experiments don't tell us much about how the policy would play out across an entire nation or a planet. Whatever strategy governments pursue, solving the welfare trap requires respecting people's agency and autonomy.
Guys, think about this here. So let's say they give you $1,000 a month, right? And your rent before UBI, for example, was $1,500. Bro, your rent next month is going to be $2,500. Right? And I think that's just the overall reality of the situation. Like there's going to be a way for someone to take that $1,000 from you, right? And every single person around you that's also doing some type of business related to anything, every single thing is going to get more. It's going to get more expensive. That's the reality.
Only by empowering individuals to create long-term change in their lives and communities can we begin to break the cycle of poverty. Agency.
I mean, listen, I love the idea of breaking the cycle of poverty, guys, right? I mean, a lot of it comes down to this overall knowledge of, if you're in the United States of America, at least, knowledge of how to use credit appropriately, right? How to do things that the millionaires do every single day would be a great thing to teach people in, let's say, high school at least, like finance, like actual finance, like a mandatory, you can't leave high school without knowing how your credit works. Okay. Understanding how to use debt occasionally, if needed, to give yourself a leg up financially, right? Understand how to build assets and not so many liabilities. Understand, let's say, interest rates, right? There are so many things that kids need to know before they actually go into like adulthood and have to experience life that they're not being taught. And then they're falling into all of these traps, when in all actuality, all you really had to do was save up a certain amount of money and put a certain amount of money into some assets, let these assets grow, teach the stock market successfully, right? There's so many things that can take someone out of poverty if they were just to be taught in school, bro, right? But I don't think America wants that. I think America wants people to have bad credit, rely on credit cards in ways that are absolutely silly, right? I think they want that. Why? Because then all the banks get more money, right? All of the financial institutions that own these credit cards get more money in interest, free money. Why would I want you to do better? I don't know. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.